You know, it's my wedding night.
Why is the TV on still?
I don't know. Turn the TV. Here.
How do you turn it
Here,
off?
I'll get it. You're kind of a little bit more tipsy than I am.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. I'm not trying to say anything. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Now, in the midst of doing potential playoffs and saying straight out, like, I'm not saying this is the way it's going to turn out, just the way it could turn out. A lot of people said, how can you pick Columbus to miss the playoffs? And saying basically that makes my picks invalid. I'm going to do my best in my current state on my wedding night to explain this to people. So, what are you laughing at over there?
You.
Laughing girl. All right. So, I wrote down the depth chart, and here's the thing. Here's the thing that stands out to me. The things that people have said about Carolina, the things that people have said about me picking Tampa, you can say about Columbus as well. So, yes, they picked up Panarin. Jenner had a down season. Bjorkstrand still hasn't shown himself yet. Can Josh Anderson follow up what he did last year? Josh Anderson's still an RFA. Wenberg's still an RFA. Are they going to end up in cap trouble? See, right now they have $12 million in cap space. So that's a lot, right? Well, they have Wenberg, who's going to get a good raise. Anderson's going to get a good raise. And then next year they could run into some problems. Yeah, for this year, fine. Fine, I'll give them the cap. But I look at this lineup and I say, all right, Ryan Murray is the number 5 defenseman on this team. So you've got Jones, Johnson, Savard, Werenski. That's a really good top 4. And Werenski had a great rookie season. Well, what if he has somewhat of a drop back season? What if Werenski kind of regresses a little? What if Panarin isn't able to score with Columbus like he did with Chicago? And there's every reason to believe that Patrick Kane will struggle to score as much without Panarin as Panarin would struggle without having Kane there. The thing is, the difference is this, or I guess the biggest similarity would be this. Ryan Suter in Nashville. Suter left Nashville, went to Minnesota, and there was a lot of, well, he's not going to have he's not going to have Shea Weber anymore. Is he going to be that good? And he was actually better. So yeah, Panarin could be better out of Chicago. In all likelihood, he probably gets clawed back. Foligno really had a career year last year. Does he continue on that path? There's a lot of things that have to keep going right for them. They did lose Gagne. Gagne scored a lot of points for them. And I look at this team, and it's a good team. Yes, they could make the playoffs. Yes, when I do the actual predictions and I start doing the whole preseason stuff coming up early this coming week, yeah, Columbus could be a contender. But, you know, people keep talking about Bobrovsky. You know, Bobrovsky was great. He was great this year. How was he the year before? Bobrovsky year over year is not entirely consistent. So he could have a Vezina level season and follow it up with a mediocre one. He could do that again. And this is part of what kind of I see it as the tunnel vision. We only see what happened last year. We only look at where teams finished last year and we say, all right, that team finished 3rd overall. That team finished 5th overall. That team finished... So clearly they're that good again this coming season, and that's not necessarily the case. Just like a team at the bottom isn't necessarily a team at the bottom again, unless it's Vancouver. Then, you know, all bets are off. They re-signed Chaput, for God's sake. Anyways, and of course, you know, Columbus fans would probably remember Michael Chaput. Good guy. Not overly talented. Shouldn't be playing top 6 minutes, and yet somehow he gets them in Vancouver. Columbus doesn't have that problem right now. But Columbus does have a number of guys coming off of career years. It helps them a lot if Sonny Milano develops. It helps them a lot if they get Wenberg signed, they get Anderson signed, and there's no drama. It helps a lot if Bjorkstrand finally realizes his potential. It helps a lot if Werenski can build on that rookie season. There's a lot of ifs in there. And I get it. Like, and fans are going to say there's a lot of ifs with every team. Exactly. But to look at the standings from last year and say, all right, Columbus got X amount of points. I could answer with, yeah, they won 18 in a row. What was the record like outside of that huge winning streak? That winning streak was vastly impressive. So an optimist can look and say, they're a fantastic team, look at their points record. A pessimist can look and go, that was an incredible run they went on for a month and a half, but they were mediocre outside of it and they went out in the first round of the playoffs. That's how we can play this game. That's the tricky part. I don't mind anybody having, an opinion that differs from mine. That's fine. That's cool. But I do find it important when I put this crap up on a board that people don't look and go, he's just doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm looking at what teams did this past season and saying, all right, which team that made this huge jump could fall back? And for me, Columbus is at the top of that list. Do I want them to? Hell no. I want Columbus to do well. I want to see them do well in the playoffs. I'm part of running this channel. Part of what's happened is it has allowed me to see things from the point of view of fans of every single team. So I don't enjoy watching teams fail unless it's a couple of certain teams. Yeah, there's a couple I enjoy watching fail, but in general I don't. So when I make a prediction, I don't make it based on, well, I really hope this happens. I make it based on just what historically is most likely. Like Philly. People say, well, Philly's not going to get back in. Philly historically has a bad season, good season, bad season, good season. They might have a couple of bad seasons, then a good season. They're impossible to predict. And I still think Columbus, yeah, they probably make the playoffs. But it's going to be a struggle because that Metro division, and it's funny because any video I put up where I say this team's going to make it or this team's going to miss, there are fans of every single Metro division team saying we are going to be in the mix. Even Jersey fans right now are kind of optimistic and saying, you know what, we're going to be in that playoff mix. And I don't disagree. Yeah, I put teams in 7th and 8th because somebody's going to finish 7th and 8th in each division. I can't just put 8 teams side by side in first and go, in the first thing that's ever happened ever. 8 teams are going to finish with identical records with 105 points each, and they're going to share the division title. Those 8 teams will form a Godzilla team, which will then go on to stomp small villages, large cities, and probably win a Stanley Cup or end up in jail or executed. Like, it's ridiculous. And yet, I understand the point of view of every single fan base. I understand Oilers fans. I understand Columbus fans. I understand Islanders fans. I understand fans of any single team that I may say, they're going to do great, they're going to do poorly, that says, wait, what? No. This is going to be the toughest season to predict, I think, in history. Because with moves that have been made and teams that have had to cut salary, and the fact that some of the have-nots have decided this is their time to move up. This is their time to take on salary. This is their time to take on veteran players. Certain teams are going to be vulnerable, and I look at Columbus and say there was a lot of players who had really good seasons in Columbus this past year. And replicating that is going to be really damn difficult. They lost a few goals up front. Yes, they can get replaced. They can get replaced by young guys. But when you're betting on young guys, you're kind of gambling a little bit more than you will with the veterans that you lost. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I'm going to get used to wearing a ring at some point, I think. It's a strange sensation. I haven't worn a ring on my finger. It's been a long time. My ex and I were never married. This is the first time I've ever been married. So it's strange. Yeah, like standing in front of a vicar and we're married. Married. First time ever.
Pretend marriage thing.
Well, no, just, living together. And then just one day you wake up and go, well, I guess they're my wife because they're not leaving. This is different. This is different.
It was on purpose.
This isn't on purpose. I want to spend the rest of my life rather than, I guess you're going to be here tomorrow.
You're not leaving.
Well, since you're going to be here tomorrow, I might as well start calling you my wife because I'm screwed. Anyways, thanks for watching. She's had a couple. I've had a couple. I've done my best to keep myself together. Let me know how I did in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. We're getting so close to 9,000, which means 10,000 is right around the corner. and I'm very excited about it. Thank you for being a part of this wonderful day. I apologize greatly for the fact that people are going to get a notification in the middle of the night, but I felt like before I went to bed tonight I wanted to do this. We went out and had a nice dinner, and this seemed like the best time to post it. So apologies, and I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.